The jungle really is massive.
It's huge, sir.
Huge.
It's enormous. You'll get lost. You've got to be prepared when you go to the jungle. Yes, take a map. It is enormous. Huge. Hello.
Booyakasha.
Well done. Well, we'll keep spreading the message.
Big up yourself.
The jungle is massive, all right?
That's right, jungle is massive. Shout outs to everybody for listening in. It's Drumslinga Weekly podcast. I'm your host, Pat Wilson, aka The Architect. Here for episode number 3 from the Drumslinga Lab, coming at you right now. Thanks again so much for listening and watching. If you're listening to the audio-only version of this podcast, we do recommend you check out the video version as well. And we have a new YouTube page that's Drumslinga Weekly, so just head over to YouTube and search for Drumslinga Weekly. You'll be able to find us there. Be sure to subscribe, like, all that good stuff so that we can continue to put out more new content for you guys. And I'm really excited about some of the stuff that we have coming up, including big live stream this Saturday from an undisclosed location in Los Angeles. Gonna have some killer DJs out there, so you're gonna have some information on that event. And again, that's gonna be a live stream. We're gonna be out there in the wilderness near the train tracks, laying down some drum and bass, and we're gonna have a lot of Drumslinga residents out there. So hopefully you guys are gonna be able to tune in. We're gonna get started at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and that's gonna be this Saturday, which is, I believe it's gonna be January 23rd. So excited about that one. And again, you can catch these Drumslinga Weekly live broadcasts. We're going to start doing at least once a week at twitch.tv/Drumslinga online. All right, y'all. And also, I just want to make sure everybody knows you can interact with us at any time. Hit us up on the Jungle line. It's actually toll-free worldwide. The number is 833-7-JUNGLE. And leave us a message there if you have any questions or shout outs or whatever you want to do here on the show. And we'll be sure to get you included. Making a worldwide community here. Drumslinga Weekly. So yeah, as we get into more 2021 business, of course, I just wanted to put this segment of the show so that we can go over some of the different things that we have as far as the COVID-19. We can all ignore it, and I'm sure we're all sick of talking about it, but ultimately it's still something that's affecting a lot of our lives. And unfortunately, the government, at least here in the United States, has not done an outstanding job with anything really when it comes to this virus. And of course, when it comes to the vaccine, we're in the same boat right now, and it's been about a year since this virus hit the scene. Right now, currently, what you see here on our screen, if you're watching the video, we do have an interesting reopening for Disneyland. It wasn't quite the happiest place on earth a lot of people were hoping for. They're actually using Disneyland currently as a corona vaccine site. So right now, you can't get on any rides or anything, but you can, if you're 65 and older, you can make an appointment through this app called Othina and go over there to Disneyland and get the vaccination for the coronavirus. So, no Mickey Mouse or anything like that going on as far as, good times for the family, but I think it's a great time for the family if everybody lives. So, right now, according to county health officials, they opened this up on Tuesday, and again, that was just for the residents 65 and older. And Disneyland is actually the first of 5 super POD sites in Orange County scheduled to open, with the capacity to vaccinate thousands of people, so every day. And I just thought that was pretty interesting there. Heading over to Disneyland and getting those shots. This was an interesting one. I'm sure we all remember the 90s if we're old enough to do so. And if we do, we remember Lil Bow Wow. Well, here is images, actually, or video from a show that just happened last week in Houston. And you can see the 33-year-old rapper here at Clay Houston nightclub. This was actually a Larry Morrow's all-black birthday weekend celebration, and it included performances from Meek Mill, Trey Songz, and Terrence J, just to name a few people. So, of course, and inevitably, in this day and age, Bow Wow has taken a lot of flack for this show, and I believe rightfully so. I mean, if we just go back here and take another look at the video, you can clearly see that there's a lot of people in there, no mask on, indoor gathering. You know, it's really crazy to see this, and to put your life in jeopardy over a Bow Wow show like this is a little crazy to me. But, you know, I feel like we're on the verge of at least making some form of progress with the vaccine. But at the end of the day, you know, endangering people, or even, you know, people that might not be at that event that you could possibly get sick, I just don't think it's worth it. So right now, people definitely feeling some type of way about Bow Wow, and a lot of those people went on to social media. So Bow Wow tried to respond to the backlash there on social media. He tweeted out, actually, the following: "Man, I've been hosting parties all year. I wore my mask in the club. I can't host with that thing on." And another message actually just read that, you know, he wore his mask for the entire performance, and he only took it off for his 2005 hit track, Like You. Interesting there, but yeah, I mean, as performers, I think that we do, and, you know, promoters and people that put these events together, we do have to share a certain amount of responsibility when it comes to something as dangerous as a pandemic that can affect people's health and affect people's families' health and things like that. So yeah, at the end of the day, I think it's up to artists and promoters to try and be responsible about it. And if you're going to try to do something, it's got to be very low capacity right now. It's got to be outdoors. And I mean, there's ways to do things indoors, but this is definitely not it. So anyway, big up Lil Bow Wow on that one. In other Rona-related news here, it seems that our current president, or I guess former president, today's inauguration day, Joe Biden and Trump were differing on their belief on how we should roll out this virus, or I'm sorry, the vaccine. So it seemed that initially Trump came out and he was saying that he wanted to give as many people the vaccine as we had as far as the second vaccine. So, you know, it's 2 doses that you need in order to be fully vaccinated for COVID-19. So his plan was, yeah, it might take a little more time, but at least this way we ensure that everybody that gets that first vaccine can get the second dose in a very timely fashion. Whereas it seems that President Biden had a little bit different opinion. He was in favor of just releasing all available COVID vaccination doses, despite the number of people or the amount of second doses that would be available. So that would mean, inevitably, especially given the track record so far, some people would probably go without getting that second dose, which makes the entire vaccination a little bit, or actually significantly less effective against COVID. So, in a very rare time here, I actually do agree with Trump on this specific point. I think it makes more sense to make sure people get the first and second dose. Otherwise, if we have a bunch of people half, vaccinated, they can still potentially spread the virus at higher rates. We're never going to get to herd immunity. And speaking of that, in this CNN piece that I have here on the screen, they're actually saying that medical experts are saying that with the current U.S. vaccination rate, which has been very sluggish because of bureaucracy and mistakes that are being made by government, locally and federal, that it could take up to 3 years for us to get to herd immunity, which, last year they were talking about something completely different. They're expecting herd immunity to happen probably around now, and it does not look like that's going to be anywhere near the case, especially given the fact that we are making a lot of mistakes when it comes to rolling out the vaccine.
All of this speaks to a failed leadership from the very top of American government. And here we are in January breaking records.
Yeah, and when he talks about breaking records, what he's actually saying is we had one of the highest new infection rate days in the entire outbreak, and that was in January 2021. So welcome to the new year, people. It's not all sort of doom and gloom, though, and don't worry, I'm not going to talk about COVID for that much longer. It's not that much of an uplifting subject. But the Men's Health Clinic in Inglewood, actually, they've been inoculating people that are first responders, healthcare workers, etc. So it turns out that, the people that have been making appointments for the vaccine, there's been quite a few people that have actually been no-shows, which is crazy to be a no-show to get a vaccine during a pandemic when it's very hard to get on that list. And, there's only certain people that can get those right now. So I thought that was really crazy. And even crazier about this story, when people don't show up to get their vaccination, those doses are actually just tossed in the trash or disposed of. So this clinic, they would throw away sometimes up to 100 doses of the vaccine in a day, depending on how many people didn't show up. And to me, that's insane. We've been trying so hard to get this vaccine in order and, into people's arms and out here where we can use it. And to hear that clinics and hospitals and, all different places that are administering the vaccine are throwing them away is just, it seems nuts to me. So this Inglewood Men's Health Clinic started doing something about it, and I thought that was really cool. They had a waiting list of people that were sort of not quite first responders. They were not on that first tier to get vaccinated. But if there was a no-show, they were reaching out to these people and basically giving them, pop-up chance to go ahead and get the vaccine. So they would call them the same day, and rather than just throwing those doses away, they were getting them into the arms of someone that can actually, benefit from the vaccine and potentially save additional lives. So on the day where I reported this, which was Wednesday, they actually had 150 people from the waiting list that were able to go ahead and get their vaccines. So that was really cool. Of course, the county had something to say about that because technically it's not legal to give the vaccine to people that are not on that, first responders or over 65 list. But, is the trash can going to be better suited with the virus or the vaccine? Either one. I mean, this doesn't make any sense to me that nobody's getting the vaccine and we're throwing those away, and it's only a matter of time before we're turning around again and wondering where all the vaccine went, even though it was so plentiful just so long ago. So, anyways, big up over there at the Inglewood Men's Health Clinic, doing something out there to make a difference. Love to see that. Yeah, so, things have been a little bit crazy out there, and I think that people are getting a little bit stir crazy in their quarantine situations. This is a really interesting story, actually. I thought it was good comic relief in all this wild COVID news. A husband and wife in Canada were fined $1,500 each after the woman was found walking her husband down the street on a leash. That's right, walking her husband down the street like a dog on a leash. The incident occurred in Sherbrooke City in Canada's Quebec province on Saturday night when the woman was caught walking her husband on a leash like a dog at 9 p.m. And in this area of Canada, they had just implemented an 8 p.m. curfew. So she was out after curfew. Of course, the cops saw this and thought it very peculiar. And when they went up and asked why she was breaking the curfew, she said it was within her rules to walk her dog within a kilometer of her house, which is technically true after curfew. But the cops pointed out the obvious point. Her husband's not a dog. And once the fine was imposed, both the husband and the wife told the police that they were planning on not paying that fine and they were going to refuse to do so, which I believe sets up the trial of the century. I wish I could be in that courtroom. It'd be interesting. But yeah, you know, people going stir crazy. They want to get outside, doing whatever it takes to handle their business like they used to be able to. And it's all the little things you take for granted out there. And who knows? I mean, this could have just been some kind of freaky sexual thing too. I don't know exactly what's up with that, but I'd probably do a lot of things for my wife if I had one. But being walked down the street like a dog is probably not going to be one of them. Anyways, I'm really excited about next week's show because we have a guest coming in who's a good friend of mine and a junglist, and he's actually an ER nurse. He's been on the front lines since this whole corona thing started to break out, and he's going to help us get some perspective on things that maybe he's seen, give us some cool stories, and I think it's just going to be a really nice chat. Can't wait. And if you want to participate, go ahead and hit us up on the Jungle line at 833-7-JUNGLE. Leave us a message with your questions or whatever you want to say. And yeah, we'll be sure to get that on the show for you. It should be a good time. Hit us up there on that Jungle line. Participate. Big up yourself. I think we got some current events right now we're going to go ahead and get into real quick. We had, today we actually had the inauguration of our new president, Joe Biden. But prior to that, we actually had some very interesting goings on, such as this one here. This gentleman was actually caught in DC on Friday night, January 15th. He was coming across a checkpoint in downtown. And this gentleman's name is Wesley Allen Beeler. The police stopped him and they questioned him. It looks like he actually had fake press, credentials on him, and he also had a large cache of weapons and ammunition. So it's not quite clear if this was an actual assassination attempt or what exactly he was planning to do with all the weaponry that he had there, but definitely some foul play afoot and definitely a Trump supporter here. So I'm kind of rejoicing that nothing crazy happened during the inauguration. And speaking of presidential issues, as we did the changeover of power, everybody probably saw that for the second time, articles of impeachment were drawn up by Nancy Pelosi following that Capitol siege that we all loved from a couple weeks ago. And, the reason that they cited as far as, putting out there the impeachment was basically just, you're inciting physical violence at the Capitol, insurrection. So, it's going to be interesting to see exactly what happens with that. I know that now he's technically not still the president, but I'm not exactly sure how that legal proceeding can go down, but I know that there's definitely still a large possibility for legal ramifications for Mr. Trump. And the reason why I have this lady here on screen is she was one of 10 House Republicans who voted to impeach President Trump. This is Representative Liz Cheney of Wyoming. And it's very rare that you have that many people also in the president's party voting to impeach. And yeah, that definitely happened in this case. You can see a lot of people, including citizens and even politicians, are kind of getting their fill of the old Trumpalicious. So, anyways, we've got a new president now, so, new problems, right? Hopefully some new solutions. So this was a really interesting story from the old insurrection that I wanted to share with you guys that really outlined some interesting levels of entitlement that I did not realize were real. Check this out.
I'm facing prison sentence. Do I feel like a criminal? No. Do I feel guilty? No. So me personally, I do not feel a sense of shame or guilt from my heart from what I was doing. I thought I was following my president. I thought I was following what we were called to do.
Okay, so I just wanted to stop it right there. I think that we've seen enough BS right here for me to just kind of break this down a little bit. So this lady here that is talking, if you're listening to the audio version, this lady's name is Jen, and she was at the Capitol raid, donning all of her beautiful Trump attire. And during this raid, she was seen both here, lovely window at the Capitol, in front of the Capitol building, holding up a peace sign in front of a broken window at the nation's capital. And there's some more footage that you'll see of her going in the initial rush of people that broke through the door, where, people were hurt, shot, all different kinds of things happened. And this lady came out right away, just basically telling Trump, you need to pardon me because I did this following your lead. And, I'm not going to be accountable for anything that I've taken part in because, you're the one that incited us to do this. And interestingly enough, this right here is even more proof of something that would definitely be viewed as criminal behavior if you're a minority, but I don't want to take it down that path right now. She's standing in front of the broken window, and she's also threatening news outlets here. She says, and if the window at the Capitol, and if the news doesn't stop lying, we're going to come after their studios next. So, all in all, just delightful person here. Let's go ahead and take a look at a little more of this video. You're not going to believe kind of her expectations here. It kind of blew me away when I first saw this story.
Tonight, Frisco realtor Jennifer Ryan is speaking out in defense for her actions last week that federal authorities say were criminal.
I'm facing prison sentence. I think that I do not deserve that, and I think every person, from what I understand, everyone's going to be arrested that was there. So I think everyone deserves a pardon, and I would ask the President of the United States to give me a pardon. No, I am not the villain that a lot of people would make me out to be, or maybe think I am, because I was a Trump supporter.
Other evidence that the federal authorities gathered was this photo that stated window at the Capitol. And if the news doesn't stop lying about us, we're going to come after their studios next.
I would say I felt like I was doing my patriotic duty.
I thought I was doing my patriotic duty in destroying literally the capital of the country. I mean, I don't know. It's insane to me. And she continues here. You see the horde of people going up. She was there. You're committing crimes. I mean, I don't know what to say. If this would have been other people, could you even imagine having, whatever kind of gall to just stand here and have the level of entitlement that you're expecting this guy that wasn't even there with you in the first place? The president went home and had KFC or something while these people were out there destroying the Capitol. He just wanted someone to make noise, and he needed people on the right mental vibration to do something this crazy. And it is people like this that have that level of entitlement, that believe that, they can break the law and they can endanger the lives of politicians, and they can destroy our nation's Capitol buildings, and they can do whatever they want, however they want, and not be held accountable for those things. And I don't know, it's pretty humbling to see, because I couldn't imagine a world where I would stand, in front of a broken glass, in front of a Capitol building, as a black man or as anybody, and just say, the president should be responsible for what I just did. That's nuts to me. But, I'm just living. Anyways, let's go ahead and get off of the dire state of things in the American political system at the time. And we'll just go ahead and take a look at some drum and bass news that we have out there today. Actually, some of these stories might not necessarily be news for some people, but they are news for me, and this podcast just got started. So what you're going to see here is heavyweight boxing champion Tyson Fury out here skanking to some drum and bass. That's right, Junglist alert. Tyson Fury in the building. Selecta. That's right, he was seen here at the Eden nightclub in the UK. This was taken actually in 2018. That's why I was saying it's not quite news, but it is news to me, and I just think it's dope that, Tyson Fury is a junglist. So big up Tyson Fury. I thought that was just pretty cool. And another story that we're going to take a look at that wasn't quite as cool, and again, is not quite news. I'm sure a lot of people that are, really keeping up on their things here in the drum and bass scene know about this already, but this actually very talented drum and bass producer, Mitsubishi, he was caught in 2018 making some very incendiary racist comments, and I took a look at that because I don't like to just pass judgment on what other people are saying. And yeah, those comments are pretty horrible, and it really sucks to see someone so talented, being such a kind of caveman right now. But I guess, your true colors come out, and at the end of the day, there really is no room in our scene for people like this. We don't need division. We need unity. We need bringing people together. We don't need more people that divide on things that are really arbitrary, like the way that someone looks. It's just silly to me. And but yeah, I was looking through his comments that he made. He was even using the N-word on a few message boards. He was clearly calling another drum and bass artist a chimp for some reason. So yeah, it just turned out to be a complete winner here. The label that he was signed to, which was one of the biggest in the industry right now, Hospital, they ended up deleting his entire music catalog and any other music that they still had the rights to. They donated all those proceeds to a charity called Love Music, Hate Racism, and this charity unites people from different backgrounds through the power of music. So I thought that was really cool. Hospital Records came out with a statement kind of condemning Mitsubishi's comments. Hospital was quoted as saying, "Racism, xenophobia, and bigotry have no place in our drum and bass community. We're proud to be a part of a diverse and tolerant community in which every person is treated as an equal, no matter where they're from, their race, or heritage." And yeah, I mean, that's the ethos that we, as junglists and people that want this to grow, should be living by. And it made me sad to see somebody like Mitsubishi, holding such wild views. Either way, I feel like Hospital took the right stance on that. So yeah, I mean, that kind of brought me around again to sort of, I guess, the opinion subject of the week, which is inclusion in drum and bass in our scene altogether. There's a lot of ways that I feel like we could all be more inclusive, but I came across this video, and this guy is actually a YouTuber by the name of Nathan X, and he's from the UK. He's setting up a night out there actually for LGBTQ community, and it really just sparked some intrigue seeing this video, because when I initially saw it, I was really excited to see, other people really having passion for drum and bass and wanting to get involved and wanting to have a night, and I would love to be able to support something like that around here. It's just, I don't think that in Los Angeles there's quite enough, drum and bass and junglist people that we'd be able to kind of like branch off into an LGBTQ night. But I think it's great that they would have that kind of, thing going on in the UK. And I took a look at this guy's video, and in the beginning, like I said, I just thought it was really dope. But the more I listened to sort of some of the things that he was saying and different outlooks that he had there, I do feel like maybe his approach could be different and have much better results as far as bringing people together. But yeah, I'm just gonna let you guys take a look at this video here. This guy's name is Nathan X, and I just thought this was a really cool video as far as inclusion.
What's happening? If you don't know who I am, I'm Nathan X. I'm trying to push all things queer, being yourself, being true to yourself, being whoever you want to be within the drum and bass scene. If you don't know me, I also run a little thing called Unorthodox Event, a new LGBTQ plus drum and bass movement. Basically, we want to do a bit of a survey to see if this was a thing that we needed in the scene, if people actually cared, if there are actually enough LGBT people within, do you know what I mean? Just a bit of like research. So we headed over to a rather large drum and bass Facebook group, which I won't say the name of, but it has 50,000 people in. I think it's inactive. It doesn't seem to get used anymore. Anyway, we did a poll, and the poll literally just said, hey all, what does everyone think about an LGBTQ plus D&B night? Great music is standard, a tiny bit more fabulous, open to everyone, that's important, raising awareness and showcasing LGBTQ plus talent. Please leave feedback. Let's just start going through the comments and see what hilarious stuff we can find. Josh says, just seems like a marketing spin. Raves are pretty accepting places as standard, to be fair. Well, Josh, let me tell you, they're pretty accepting places if you're a straight white male man. Then you don't have a problem. Everyone's too cunted to give a fuck which hole you prefer to fuck anyway. Okay. Okay, and then Dylan comes back and goes, I mean, if you want to try and change the demographics of who likes D&B, then be my guest. I'm just talking about how I'd run an LGBT event, but okay. Well, Dylan, firstly, you're not queer. You're a white straight male. And secondly, let's have a look at Dylan. Oh my god, he's like, what I hate in drum and bass the most. Like, it's that whole like snapback vibe, trying to look sick with your mate standing behind the decks. And it's so boring. I don't want to see you in your fucking Nike sportswear and your snapback doing the same thing as everyone else. It's fucking boring. Get some taste, get some personality. That's what I'm saying. So anyway, Dylan, thanks for your advice. And there's a reason why the demographics of D&B are who they are, because it's such an unaccepting scene. Like, I have gay friends who don't want to go to raves because of the image it's got. It's got a bad reputation. Like, people think raves are rough and dangerous, full of sweaty, straight, white blokes who are fucked on drugs.
Yeah, I just wanted to chime in for a second here. So, he's definitely got some valid opinions. There's a lot of people that can go to shows and feel very marginalized and, feel like they want to branch out and make their own kind of scene and make things happen for themselves, because the scene isn't as accepting as sort of like maybe some of the facade might be. I don't even think it's a facade, really. I mean, when it comes to music and things like that, drum and bass, rave scenes, it's just about as loving as you can get. And I think that even some of the comments that he was getting angry about were, they're not even incendiary. Maybe they're a little bit insensitive, and maybe they're a little bit ignorant for some of the issues that the LGBTQ community would face. But I don't think these are bad people or anything, and I think that maybe some of this gentleman's reacting to some of this stuff is a little bit harsh. And also, I think that the attitude, all in all, of just sort of, I am, straight white males are the devil and all these kind of things. I don't think it's the right way to approach things. Like, as somebody that's from a group that has been marginalized in some cases, I'm not going around saying I'm a victim by any stretch of the imagination, but definitely there is, racism out there and times where you are marginalized. So I know what it feels like. And just in my experience, I found so much more success, especially if I'm trying to build something, in just collaborating and finding out, how people operate and finding a way to help people rather than to point out everyone's flaws and their shortcomings, maybe even in the way that they communicate or in the way that they express whatever they're going through in their life. If those things you find offensive, I think there's just a proper way to kind of address those things, and if you address them from a place of anger, then you just end up kindling the fire, I think. I'm not saying this gentleman's doing that, I'm just saying that, all in all, and you'll see as this video continues, there's definitely some idiots out there that are making really interesting comments.
And there's a reason why demographics of D&D are who they are, because it's such an unaccepting scene. Like, I have gay friends who don't want to go to raves because of the image it's got. It's got a bad reputation. Like, people think raves are rough and dangerous, full of sweaty, straight, white blokes who are fucked on drugs. Oh, Joe. I whacked my top off at an event, Mandy making me sweat, and people just slapped my tits and rave with us. And then he went on to say, you always get one person off their head that's mesmerised by a man titty. I don't care, it's all bant. If it's all bant, why mention it? And trust me, Joe, no one is coming for your man titty. And then Taylor comes in. Bam. Well, hello there, white straight men of the comments section. Love you, Taylor, if you're watching. You give me life. Joe also replies, listen, bruv. Listen, bruv, no matter where you go in life, there'll be people that do the shit, but come down off your bloody high horse you're on and stop giving us shit. Literally, look at all these comments. We literally don't give a fuck who you are. Why bring your bullshit energy here? Joe, look at all these comments. Yeah, look at all these comments saying what you said. My question to you, Joe, if you're watching, if you don't care and everyone could be themselves, why do you need to mention there's no problem at all? Why do you have to point out, and why do you have to point out there's always one guy interested in a man titty? Like, what are you trying to say? Chris, the gay pride raves are always a laugh, so I'd imagine it would be sick. Of course, the gays know how to party. Robin says, raves are rave, innit? Doubt people go to rave and go, oh, look at all this straightness here. Actually, I do. I walk into a rave and look at all the straight men and think, I'm never gonna find a man. Yes. Oh my god, this just gets so much more intense. Joe is vexed. I took it too far. We was all having a nice thread talking about how we all accept everyone for who they are. Then she comes in spouting shit that we're all closeted homophobes. You are all closeted homophobes. If you weren't, you'd comment saying, this is a great idea, can't wait, I'm gonna come as well and support it. That's not being a homophobe. Lol, Taylor comes back. Joe, haven't called anyone homophobic. You've determined that yourself.
That's where I start having problems. I mean, I guess some of the other stuff's a little bit problematic, but when he starts saying that everybody in the thread is a closeted homophobe, I don't know that that's true. I definitely wouldn't say that closeted homophobia is an issue in the Los Angeles drum and bass scene, unless I've been missing something. I think a lot of people do use problematic language. I think a lot of people may, slip up all in all, but as far as actually being, homophobic or, regularly putting themselves out there with homophobic thoughts and behavior in the drum and bass scene, I don't see it that much at all, especially in LA. I think that it's a little bit more accepted here than it probably is in London. I don't know for sure though, and I think that anybody ignorant enough to discriminate based upon, what someone has as a sexual preference or how they identify as themselves, I don't think there's any room in our scene for those people either. If you can't just be accepting for other people and for what they want to do with their own personal life and their own body, you only have one life to live, so I think that they should be able to be fulfilled no matter what you do, as long as you're not hurting anyone. I think they should be able to enjoy their life as well, and they're more than welcome. Anyone, and I'm talking about any human being on the planet is welcome. Come to one of my events or one of our events, and that's just the way it's always going to be. So, there's definitely some good points in here being talked about.
We was all having a nice chat. That's my favourite bit. We were never having a nice chat. This isn't a nice chat.
I feel it.
This is an annoying chat. Oh, God. Hello? And everyone's always going on about PLAW. I'm not sure if it's PLUR. I'm pretty sure it's PLAU. Peace, Love and Unity. But everyone loves going on about that in all these groups. But no one understands what PLAW is. It's just a cover-up. It's just to like sweep under the carpet. It's like, PLAW, PLAW, PLAW. Everything's fine in the scene. There's no problems. We have PLAW. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Okay? It's a cover-up. There's no peace, love and unity. Everyone hates each other. Okay, fine. That was a bit extreme, given. And all the people who say PLAW are just trying to cover up for their own, thing that they've said. Like, oh, this is a bad idea because we're going to cause more segregation. But PLAW, everyone already loves each other anyway, so we don't need it. Rihanna says...
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's obviously some differences between the scenes, but I just don't see any evidence where I would go to a party and say that everybody hates each other. Especially raves and things like that. It just doesn't make any sense. So, I don't know. I mean, I hope that, and I really, what I wanted to do before I even get into any more of my opinion on the subject, I just wanted to open up basically a dialogue and see if anybody else wants to discuss the subject of inclusion, because we're going forward and it's going to be a new world out there, and when things do start opening up a little bit, it's going to be different. So there's going to be all different kinds of new opportunities. There's going to be all different kinds of different venues and things like that going on, and it's a chance for us to really make dynamic changes that can influence our scene going forward as far as drum and bass and growing and getting into new audiences. And I just think inclusion is such an important topic, and seeing this being discussed in this way is cool. I think it's, no matter how I feel or my opinion about it or the way it was being discussed, I think that the fact that this guy's got the channel and is doing his night is awesome, and I would love to be able to support it any way that I can. But yeah, I would love it if you guys give us a call on the Jungle line, 833-7-JUNGLE, and leave us a message and just let us know your thoughts on it. Maybe the video, inclusion, all in all, within drum and bass, any kind of experiences that you might have had. Just interested to see if anybody has any thoughts on this. So yeah, I mean, I'm just going to play a little bit more of this video, but it's a lot more of the same. People spouting various levels of
this is a bad idea.
strange comments at him,
Everyone
and
already loves each other anyway, so
him coming back with very snide and
Rihanna
slightly
says, just seems unnecessary to politicize
sniping
DMV.
comments.
Raves should be about a joint love of the music, nothing more, nothing less. I see what you're saying, but it's not right, because a lot of people are saying this in this thread as well. It's not right because drum and bass is huge. There's millions of people who love it, follow it, and it's not just a music genre. It's a scene. Everyone who likes drum and bass fucking loves drum and bass. You know, they talk about the smoking area, they talk about it in all these communities. It's a big thing. You know, I think it's a bit blasé to say that we shouldn't politicize D&B. There needs to be a social presence, you know, and a social and like a thought for like minorities. Alfie, what makes LGBTQ plus not able to attend a regular D&B night? We can attend, and we do attend, but I've, you know, had bad experiences at these raves. I've had people come up, especially if I go a bit camp, a bit open, a bit topless, lots of jewelry. People come up to me and they're like, "Why are you wearing that?" It's like, oh, you know, I've been like, I remember I was talking to a group of lads who were getting a lighter, and then like they started being like, "Oh, the gay guy," and like, you know, it's just ostracizing me. It doesn't make me feel good about myself.
Yeah, and you know, I think I'm gonna leave the video with that final sentiment right there. If anybody's ever been ostracized in a scene that they even remotely care about, or in an area or a place, or, you know, with a group or a club or business or whatever, to be ostracized when you actually are passionate about something, it sucks, and I know how that feels. So ultimately, I just hope that, you know, as people that are all about music and about love and unity and plur, like this guy was saying, I mean, we know that's all a little part of the ethos of every raver. So I just hope that we're being accepting out there and not making people feel ostracized, because, you know, ostracized people, that's the quickest way for our scene to die, or just become this weird kind of shoegaze in the corner thing, rather than the amazing bass lines and, you know, MCs and the scene that we've just come to love over the years. So yeah, I'd love to get you guys' opinion on this. Meet up anytime, Jungle Line, people. And I think that's about it right now for the current events and news. But coming up next, you're going to want to stay tuned, because we got some fire coming at you today as far as the music section. Got some dub plates myself, but today there's actually a fresh new Caliber album on the horizon that I wanted to discuss a little bit, and huge new liquid mix from a US D&B powerhouse you're not going to want to miss. So stick around, y'all, for the music section at Drumslinga Weekly. Yo, what's up, party people? Welcome. We about to get into the music right now. Got some big releases for you today. Some fun stuff to talk about on Darkitect's Drops. Without further ado, let's just go ahead and get on into it. Getting us started. Been talking about this. Legend in the drum and bass scene, Caliber, coming out with a new album. This one's been long awaited. This one is titled Feeling Normal. Some real jammers on here. More of that Caliber style. So many you've come to know and love. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to hearing all the jams on this one. Caliber, definitely, he put a lot into this. He's been working on this album for years. And according to him, he says this whole album is special to me. Everything on there has import and meaning beyond for me. I've spent much time on all these, and I hope they're special for other people too. And from what I've heard so far, I can definitely tell it's gonna be dope. You can pre-order this one now, digital album, or you can get the 12-inch vinyl pre-order at Caliber's Bandcamp page. And I'm gonna scroll that around the bottom. It's caliber.bandcamp.com. And again, this is Feeling Normal. Can't wait. Big up Caliber. Yeah, so like I was saying, big liquid mix from a US drum and bass legend. This is a liquid mix just released on January 14th by the legendary Diesel Boy. That's right, an unexpected 2-hour liquid mix. It's available for download actually at his SoundCloud page. 130 minutes of fire. And yeah, I mean, liquid tracks spanning from the 2000s, a little bit of stuff from the late 90s all the way up to present day. And, you know, those double, triple drops we've all come to love from Diesel Boy, all present in this mix. It's recorded at D-Cell Studios in Brooklyn, New York, and released by Planet Human. You can, as I said, pick up the heavy breathing mix over at Diesel Boy's SoundCloud page, soundcloud.com/Dieselboy. Big up for him on this one. I like this. It's a really good mix. Make sure you cop that one for those, you know, early 2021 vibes. Selecta. And here's one from a group that I haven't really heard a whole lot from, the Rhythm Punks. And they are actually a Bristol band, and I mean band or group of producers, and they've gotten together with some of London and, you know, the whole UK area's biggest artist, vocalist. Ryder Shafiq actually does the intro to the album, and it's just you know, it's a really dope piece of work. I really like the bass lines and the vibes on it, and I was really feeling, you know, that punk rock vibe. I feel everybody's got a little punk rock in them these days, and kind of always have had that myself. This one was released on their Nice Up Records, and you can check that up on their SoundCloud page. Big up Rhythm Punks, keep it rocking out there. London's burning. It's a lot of good tracks on that EP. Scope it out. And this one right here, just a sentiment that I think we've all had. This is called Save the Rave, originally by Mages and Bannock Boy. This is a bootleg by Fat Loaf. I was really loving the movement and the vibes on this one. Definitely feels like something to get that dance floor hype. Yeah, I like this one. It was a good bootleg right here. Again, this is out right now by Fat Loaf. And if you want to go ahead and listen to that, download it, get all the details, head over to Fat Loaf SoundCloud page. Scope it out. Big vibes on this one. Alright, and we're about to get into Darkitect's drops right now. Got some fresh tunes here and got some classics. You know, in Darkitect's drops section, I just like to go ahead and, you know, put you guys up on some of the stuff I'm vibing with right now. It could be anything. It could be drum and bass. It could be polka. It's probably going to be drum and bass, but, you know, I'm just saying it could be anything. Keep an open mind. And let's see what I got on here for today. Getting started right now. This one was actually released in 2018 on Lifestyle Music by Clinical. It's called Africa. Yeah, I think you can see just from what we've heard so far, there's how it got its name. Tribal feels on this one. I was really digging it. You know, it's really innovative kind of track. Trying something different. Good use of the vocals. Love to work stuff like this into my set because it can really bring in a good change up. It's a good one. You can still pick this one up at Beatport on the Lifestyle Music imprint. Again, Clinical with a K. This is called Africa on Darkitect Text Drops. Yup. And this is actually something I added in there myself. Of course, these are my tracks, and as it seems like the world's been ending, I put together a little pack of unreleased music, and this is going to be coming out next week. If you are already a member of the Drumslinga Drop Squad, you'll get this EP free, and it should be released on Wednesday of next week. If you're not in Drop Squad, I'm probably going to be releasing this next weekend. And I'm just going to make this free for everybody. We've all been having some rough goes out there. I don't want you guys to have to worry about paying any money for music at this point, because I know that we're all kind of strapped. So hopefully you can enjoy these tracks. I'm going to put these out. And it should be good. And I've been working on these for a minute. I've actually had these ready to be released a couple times, but I went ahead and went back into some of these tracks and messed around with some of the mastering on it. This one, Herd Immunity, is a new track. And I hope you guys can vibe out to that. And that's going to be free. And you can head over to my SoundCloud page next weekend. Download that. Also at my Bandcamp. Have that up there too. Yeah, and one more track we got here today in Darker Text Drops. This one, I really just enjoyed the whole aesthetic around the track. This is an artist that most people that have been in the drum and bass for a while are going to be very familiar with this artist. It's Heist. First release in 10 years. It's pretty crazy. And on this one, it's called Watermelon Girl. Features Sahala on the vocals. And wow, I mean, she lends her sultry voice on this one. And I was just really digging the minimal vibes on this sort of liquidy roller. And you can cop this 5-track Watermelon Girl EP. It's coming out, or it's actually out now by the time you get this. Head on over to the Collab Recordings. They are collabrecordings.databeats.com. Pick this one up, and this is Liquid Labs imprint. And it's good to see Heist back on the scene doing something original right here. I like it. All right, as we wrap up Darker Text Drops, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about events here. It's still kind of premature. Nobody's really gotten a vaccine or anything yet. But we're definitely starting to see people get very antsy out there about events and things like that. And, people are trying to find ways to do cool streams and things like that also. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a gathering of human beings. It can just be friends getting together and doing a stream. One cool thing out there I did see, though, is this event that they have going on right now, or actually just happened last weekend. And as ravers, we are all, super familiar with how this all works, and with, of course, Insomniac, one of the biggest companies out there. But they had this drive-through event to keep it COVID safe. Basically what they did is they took riders through a journey through 7 worlds of Insomniac's most iconic festivals and brands. So you basically pull up there, and it's just like a maze. You get to drive your car through there, and they have like an EDC area. They had Beyond Wonderland, Nocturnal Wonderland, Escape, and everything was just kind of sectioned off into its own area. You got to drive through and just kind of, have some good nostalgia, be in the car with your friends, and just get some of those throwback vibes to some of those huge raves we used to go to from Insomniac. So I thought that was really cool, all in the COVID friendly environment. And here it is. See it happening. The only thing is, it is a little expensive. It was $99 per car, and each car you could have up to 4 people in the car, so you could split that and it would only be like $25 each. But it's just cool to see people out there and save the rave, right? Big up Insomniac on that one. Is it a full-fledged rave? Not quite. I mean, it's more like it's a small world of raves, but I still think this is a really cool idea, and it looks like a lot of fun. So, big up Insomniac. Yeah, and speaking of events, again, I just want to remind you guys, coming up Saturday, and that's the 23rd, we're going to have a big live stream. So head on over to both the twitch.tv/Drumslinga online page. Also, you can get that at Drumslinga Resident DJ Bassman's page. Also going to be up on the Deep page because we are doing a takeover of Deep End. And yeah, I'm excited about this. I've been putting together a good liquid set for a minute, so hopefully you guys can check that out. We did hear about some possible rain going down, so if rain does happen, we will have something up there on the stream. We'll either be doing sets from our house or we'll figure something out to entertain. But if the rain does not happen, we will be out at the train tracks and we will be streaming live. So I hope that some of you guys can tune in for that one. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, so as we go ahead and get ready to get into today's guest mix, we got one more thing to do, and that's go through some of our viral videos for the week. I got some funny-ish coming at you in just a minute. Make sure you stay tuned. Keep it locked, keep it loaded on Drumslinga Weekly. That's right, people. We've come to the time that all the video viewers love. It's about time for some viral videos, and we're going to have a good time today. First, though, before we get started, are you hungry? I'm pretty hungry. And I know one thing I like to do when I get hungry is order food. So what do animals do when they're hungry and they've been raised around humans and their masters may be away for the weekend? I'm proud to say we're going to answer that question for you today. I know it's been on everybody's mind. Let's take a look. So what do animals do when their master's away? Well, I think they order a pie on their master's card. That's pretty hilarious right there. Yeah, so I think this was a prank of some sort, but that was pretty hilarious. So you see, if you're listening, basically what has happened here is a guy pulls up with a pizza delivery guy, and he's just looking to get his money and go on about his day. And who opens the door? A monkey. Monkey opened the door, gets his pizza, and just pieces out. So other than the fact that one of them was not technically human, pretty normal pizza transaction. I hope that monkey has a good night. So sometimes we can definitely bite off more than we chew, and we can think that we're stronger than we are as well. It happens to me all the time. And hopefully when it happens to you, we don't end up on the internet like this dude.
Okay, go.
Yeah, that's a powerful one. So This guy is throwing basically a tree,
Dead.
and he gets a very bad swing on it, and it comes around back and hits him in the head and knocks him clean out. So yeah, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, just leave trees alone. Don't lift shit that's way too fucking heavy for you. But if you do it, we're gonna laugh at you. It's just gonna happen. I'm sorry. Let's go ahead and make this video bigger. Can't be playing around with this tiny little video screen. So the next thing we got coming up here, let's say you live in a zoo, right? You're an animal. I know you're an animal because you're listening to this. But anyways, if you live in a zoo, you still have needs. Sometimes carnal in nature. And much like this deer, you look for sweet romance. So what, you know? Doesn't matter if she's made of plastic and has no heartbeat. Not much different than Tinder dates, right? So if you're listening to this, I don't know why you're listening to the viral videos section, but I'm gonna walk you through it. Let's do an instant replay on this one. Deer comes up to another deer. It's giving it the old what for, and the head falls off. Which is a very interesting way to realize that you are not sleeping with a living being. So hopefully they've got a couple real deers in there. Otherwise this deer can definitely have an identity crisis or anxiety attack or something like that. Blue deer balls, I don't know. Anyways, on to the next one here. I thought this was pretty funny. When it comes to karate and martial arts, practice makes perfect, just like everything else, especially in a competition. These ones right here, see that fella there, got kicked a little bit in the head, and they're breaking boards here with their feet. This guy completely misses the board and connects cleanly with the guy who's holding the board's head. And I know most people have probably seen this happen before, but it never gets less amusing. The first one, you can see that kick actually gets through as well. That kid's down there and he's grabbing his nose. But this one, the guy does not even contact the board. It's 100% dome. And clean knockout. There. Good job, buddy. I don't think that was the objective of this particular competition, but you did it. You did something. These days, I think we're all trying to find a way to get a vacation going. And nothing beats good vacation fun with the family, right? Sandy beaches, drinks. Maybe we'll get a jet ski this time. I've always wanted to get a jet ski. Just probably not that one. If you're not watching this, you definitely got to tune back into this one later. But it's just a dad and his son out in beautiful blue waters, enjoying their evening, waving hi to mom on the boat, and the jet ski just explodes, and it's pretty savage. I know everybody survived that, but yeah, I don't know. It makes me not want to get a jet ski now. That can't happen too often. Anyways, this fella is, everybody who is involved with street racing, they seem to love it. This guy seems to be a very high level. I don't know what that was, but it looked like a brick or something else very large. Let's take one more look at this here. So this guy is just coasting along at a cool 110 miles an hour, and brick just nonchalantly flies up, busts right through the window, and has to miss his head by inches. So it's dude's lucky day. Luckily, that did not hit his dome piece, because that could not have been a pleasant experience. Oh, man. So, anyways, speaking of breaking glass, everybody likes to see, I don't know, good-looking females. Those are fun, right? And sometimes we just don't know our own strength. We don't get it. We don't understand how strong we might be. Well, sometimes we don't understand our own weight either. And you see these ladies here are having an interesting night. I don't know why you would hang on a piece of glass like that and think that you're going to be able to get through the evening that way, or even the next couple minutes. But yeah, I think you're going to have to Venmo me for that, boo. And then if you're listening to this also, what happened here is, thoughts being thoughts. No, I'm not going to say that. It's, there's a couple women here, and they're kind of dancing, and one of them just got the brilliant idea to hang from a piece of sheet glass, possibly a shower. And, it just, of course, glass is not meant to support that weight. So it comes crashing down in epic fashion. Good work.
Big up yourself.
The song goes, shake your ass, not break the glass. Anyways, if you have some viral videos you want me to take a look at, hit us up on the Jungle line. Also, you can email us anytime at info@drumslinga.com. If you have any kind of suggestions for the show, you want to get on the show, you want to ask us a question, whatever you got going on, just go ahead and email us at info@drumslinga.com if you got to send some files, or if you want to get your voice, your lovely, beautiful voice up on the show, hit us up on the Jungle line, 833-7-JUNGLE. It's about time to get into the weekly guest mix here on Drumslinga Weekly. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome, and thank you so much for listening to Drumslinga Weekly. Today in the guest mix, we got a heater for you. BC Rydah laid it down, and this was earlier in 2020. We had an event called Interface, and it was just a really dope way to bring together a bunch of different genres of electronic music. And BC Rydah blessed us with a classic jungle set that I know y'all are gonna love. Check it out right now. BC Rydah in the guest mix. Drumslinga Weekly. Much love.
Yeah, I go by BC Rydah.
Still watch what you say to me. bitter, just like a aloes chew. Them bad mind, them off sitting in our shadow. Them laugh left to right, say them a crooked arrow. Smile with you today and turn them back on you tomorrow. People bitter, chew your bread and butter. Want mash up your life and them want see you suffer. We driving a Benz and you are driving over. Mash up your life and them want come take over. We call them frenemies. Oh, when we call them frenemies. That's how we call them frenemies. Oh, when we call them frenemies. Oh, when we call
Hey, hold on. Say
Right there. That was one of my tunes right there. It's called Niggas Talk Shit. I'm going to go ahead and bring that back. Y'all having a good time? Let me hear you say hell yeah. All right. Hell yeah. Let's drop this shit.
Niggas talk shit, but that ain't my style. I'm the type of nigga to put that in your grill. Niggas talk shit, but that ain't my style. I'm the type of nigga to put that in your grill. Niggas talk shit, but that ain't my style. I'm the type of nigga to put that in your grill. Niggas talk shit.
Black Volkswagen GTI. If you have a black Volkswagen GTI, you gotta move your car real quick.
Put your head.
I'm talking to, I put my mad style on them like my name is Dr. Who. I return with the fury in a bag full of funk. The soul of a sinner, guess who came to dinner? I smoke with the fuckers, so who I'm talking to, I put my mad style on them like my name is Dr. Who. I return with the fury in a bag full of funk. The soul of a sinner, guess who came to dinner? I smoke with the fuckers, so who I'm talking to, I put my mad style on them like my name is Dr. Who. I return with the fuckers, so who I'm talking to, I put my mad style on them like my name is Dr. Who. I
Sound is my phone, see? You know that. Killing sound is my phone. Tell myself, listen to this skillfully. Get about talk about decent tune, alright?
Bad boy sound. I wanna forever kill that sound.
up, pick up. Pick up, shut them running away, man, them sit down. Just make a nigga not to a gun in the sun. Anytime that they catch them, they like it, I go done. Now go take them one, go down, they said to me, man, no. So that all is not your grass, and no one. The truth and right, the lyrics are playing now. How the wicked them a run, just a run up and down. How the wicked them a run, just a run up and down.
Now hear this. Oh yeah, them going around and this and the Dan, you know. But remember, this is Dan of all Dan Gargan. And still when you get this one, this is no reincarnation. This is the upfront article Dan. This is not special nor sample. This is an example that no one can get unless and they can consult them Bible. Original country, goat teeth, Dan Gargan talk. See? Come in, rude boy.
Now this style is called Don't Play It Style.
A. Roswell on the sets of BC Rydah. How many of y'all chilling tonight? That's the only one. We can ride one.
I face a lot of trials and tribulation, but to all of that I must still stand strong. Giving thanks and praise to the Almighty One, and looking forward to reach Mount Zion.
Jeep. Who's got the Jeep? Silver Jeep. Who's got the Jeep in the street? trap. Roswell, back on the mix. BC Rydah, yeah, trap. Got nowhere to go to relax in the mind, making all kinds of O's. Trap. Nowhere to go to relax in the mind, making all kinds of O's. Over and over, all kinds of O's. Yeah. 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 Kicking it trap. I got nowhere to go to relapse in the mind, making all kinds of O's. Over and over, all kinds of O's. Everywhere I go, I see all kinds of hoes. Like I'm too caught up in the mind with the growth. Pretty on with the grind to the go. No looking back, no regrets to the grow. Life can be beat, so it mixes the flow. Inhale, exhale, lung full of smoke with the inhale, exhale, straight for the soul. Ashes, carbon, straight for the stove with actions, fluid, H to the O. Adaptive wolf on the streets of a road. Food for your thought, no slating me, bro. Crazy, I know you yellow, but life is a road for the signs, with just your mind in the road. Adrenaline pumping, the world spit slow. Senses high in the sky to my toes. Seems upside down like. No, back in the smoke zone, back in the ghost. Back in the flesh zone, back in the bones. Back in the dome, flipping the lid off the company go, flow. BC to the Rydah, time when your time done. Never pass by like F all the what I eat on styler. I got on timers, wanna no fucking right, cuz I got the felony strike, y'all. Fuck up anyway, here go the siren. I'm in the back, slow pippin' high one. Hurry quick, hide one. Wanna light one, wanna try one, get violent. Don't guide. Do you wanna see the sun when it rains? Cold flames burning up the holes in your brain. Coming from the ecstasy and cocaine. Living in the fast lane, living it straight to the chase. Your head must been active in the aliens. Can't hear the shit that you try to say. Floating away with the shitty ass face real quick. Get box geometric shapes. You ain't in the matrix with the insane looking church go boots in your shades. Take all your fake fuck straps on the way. Get hit up with a stray. Nobody wants that kick in the face. Ain't got pride when you get that day. Get that straight in the way. Back on the rhythm. Who's got the fast though? Land with the markers, process with caution. Leave it in the bet, won't laugh on a starship. Hardly. Calm.